Hi everybody, welcome to my little workshop here. I've been getting a few questions from the previous video and some emails asking me some questions about the bike, so I want to go ahead and put out a little video. I was planning on doing a full type review video, but I was going to do it like after 100 miles or at least on the bike. But so far, because of some weather we've had, because I've had to get over a cold and some other unplanned issues here, I've only been able to put on about 37 miles roughly on this. So not quite as many miles as I'd like right now, but I'll go ahead and put out a video just to give you some likes and dislikes, because I've also had a little problem with the bike, and I was going to talk about that as well. But let's start with some of the things I like. Obviously the BBSHD motor. That's a really great motor. Again, very silent, very powerful. They did upgrade it to the 1500 watt for me, so for off-road use, and that's made a huge difference, I think. Now I'll show you here on the display, the DPC18. I still really like this display. If you notice here, max speed 36.7 miles per hour. That was done with throttle only, and it was going downhill. It was a decent little downhill ride that I was doing, and that took me all the way up to 36.7. If I'm doing it on flat ground, completely flat terrain, the most I've gotten out of a full throttle is about, I want to say it was 29.1 was the max speed that brought me to. But again, this display I really like. The remaining charge is very accurate. I really do like that. Let's see here. And backing up here, looking at the battery now. The 48 volt, 13.5 amp hour battery. So far this has done really well. I'm actually kind of impressed by it. Given my weight, I'm roughly about 300 pounds. I've been losing a little bit of weight, so maybe just a little bit under. But I'll say 300 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall, and that me plus the bike, from a full charge, 100 down all the way down to 0, this should take me, in pedal assist 1 or 2, should get me about 40 miles off that. And give or take a little bit, but roughly about 40 miles. And I'm basing that off how fast I see the remaining charge decrease as I ride. So just kind of doing the math on that, it should take me about 40 miles. Now if I did full throttle, again, this is all on flat terrain, but if I did full throttle only, no pedaling, just throttle 100%, I would probably only get about 15, maybe 17 miles, out of that battery from full charge all the way down to 0. So just for your information there. So I do like the battery, and I do like the bike overall. None of the components on the bike are like super top of the line, but they're really good mid-range components. So I think you're getting your money's worth, and I think they're very good components. I haven't had any issues with them at all. And I have a few of these on some of my other bikes in regards to the SRAM derailleur and shifters and Shimano brakes. I've had that on some previous bikes, and they've always worked very well for me. One of the other things I really like, and this is the first time I've ever had it, is the drop post. I love this thing. I want this on all my bikes from now on. Basically, it's just, an adjustable seat on the fly. If you want to go lower, you go lower. You want to bring it all the way back up, bring it back up. It works great when going down hills. It works great for just getting comfortable, finding a nice comfortable position. And the thing I really use it most for is whenever I don't have a bike rack on the back of my car like I used to, so I'm having some trouble getting it attached to that. So I have to put my bike in the back seat if I ever want to take it somewhere. And I drop the seat all the way down, and it fits a lot nicer. It gives me that extra room to make it fit in the back seat. So I do like that. Let's see here. I want to look at the pedals real quick. The Masso super light pedals. When I first got these out of the box, I was not impressed, because I did not think they were going to hold me. Again, with 300 pounds, and just like their name says, they are super, super light. And when I first pulled them out of the box, I thought there's no way these things are going to support me, but they've done really well. So I've got no complaint on that. And this little guy here, this is the gear sensor. I do recommend that. It's a $50 extra, but I think it's worked out very well. My shifting is just butter smooth on this thing. and it's just better than my road bike. So I really do recommend that. I think that's probably going to, as people say, it's going to extend the life of the chain and my gears. And I just by using that, I believe they're right. Let's see here. Now looking at the gears themselves, the Mighty Mini, I talked about that before, a little 30-tooth chain ring. And on the back is the 11-speed cassette. It goes all the way from 10 teeth all the way up to the Ultra Mega Granny gear of 42 teeth. And I didn't think I would like that one, but I really enjoy that with that large 42 tooth with a 30-tooth chain ring up front. You can get a lot of torque and just fly up just about anything. It feels like you can pedal up a vertical wall if you wanted to, but I know you can't do that, but it just feels that way. I did get some questions about how this lifts me or carries me up a hill. And we don't have a lot of hills around here, but there is one I found. I had to travel for it, but I found one. It's about a 14% grade, roughly. So a decent incline there. But that I changed it to a lower gear. Of course, I didn't do it in the highest, hardest gear. I didn't want to burn out the motor or anything, but I went to a lower gear, and it shot me up that hill just fine. Throttle only even. And even then, I was able to pedal up it if I wanted to pedal up that same hill. Pedal up that just fine. It was easy. I can make it as easy or as hard as I want, really. The only thing I would say that, I don't want to say I don't like it, but I would like better, would be in regards to the chain ring up front here. The Mighty Mini's done well. I really do enjoy that. But I would like to see an option maybe for like a 40 tooth or a 42 tooth chain ring or something. That's something I'm more used to. Based off my road bikes and other mountain bikes I've had in the past. That's a personal preference, but I would have liked that option. But I was told that when I bought the bike that it really wasn't an option. They didn't want to screw up the chain line, and that might mess with the gears, so I just went with a Mighty Mini. Now, one thing I did not like, and this, I don't know how well this is going to come or translate on video here, but before this crank arm will catch, like if you pedal forward, before it catches to pull the chain, or even before it catches going backwards to start ratcheting backwards, there's this little dead space in there. It's just a little bit of dead space before it catches either way. And it's not much. I've gotten used to it the more I've ridden, but when I first got the bike, it was really noticeable. And I really didn't like that part, but again, over time I've gotten used to it, so I'm not going to make too big a stink out of it. Just know it's there. And I have seen that on some of the forums, some other people talking about that, but I guess it's a known thing. Let's see here. One other thing. I did have a problem with the crank arm on the other side, here the left side of the bike. That particular crank arm, when I first got the bike, was a little loose and wobbly. And I had to talk to Luna Cycle, let them know what was going on. And at first, we both thought the same thing, that maybe the bolt was stripped. I don't know if it was during shipping or whatever, however it happened. But the bolt was stripped because when I first got the bike, all I did was, I figured the arm is loose. Okay, I'll just tighten the bolt and be on my way. And that seemed to work, but every time I rode the bike, I kept having to retighten that bolt. And so I finally took a look at it and I realized it wasn't the bolt at all. It was the actual crank arm itself was just really loose on the axle. It wasn't gripping on there very well at all. It was very wobbly. And when I talked to Luna about it, their first response to me, and this one I did not like. I was not happy to hear it. But the first response to me was that they don't cover it because the Bafang crank arms are not made of high quality metal, so this is kind of a known issue with them, and because of that, they don't cover that. Now, I get that, I understand that, but when you look at their website and you see their brief description of what their warranty is, it's like 90 days for the drivetrain and 30 days for defective parts, things of that nature. That's pretty much all I could really find on it. Nothing specific about what they do or do not cover. So just as a little constructive criticism to Luna itself, somewhere on your website, please put out a detailed list of what you do and do not cover. I think that would probably go a long way to helping you guys to point out, hey, these are things that we don't cover. So if it falls in that category, you know, SOL. But so that at first it upset me, but after talking with them for a little bit, exchanging some emails, and I sent them a video showing what the crank arm was doing, they actually agreed to make it right. And that I have to commend them, and I will say that I do like how they handled that. They made me a happy customer. I enjoy that. They stood behind their product. You know, they stood behind me as a customer, and they helped me out. I mean, granted, this crank arm is only $15. I could have paid $15 and been done with it, you know, but the fact that they stood behind their product, sent out a new one for me, and made it right, that says a lot to me about their company. It says a lot about the people that work there, and I want to say thank you for that. And they got a customer in me. They really do. So I just wanted to let people know what was going on with the bike. I also got some questions about people wanting to see this, you know, go for a ride. And I bought a little cell phone thing that I could put on the front handlebars to hold the cell phone and maybe make a video as I was riding. But unfortunately, it blocks the camera, so I can't really use that. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe this Christmas I'll get a GoPro or some kind of action cam, and maybe I can show you how it rides. But for now, I just take my word. Trust me, it does ride. It rides very well, and I'm really having a lot of fun with this bike. I highly recommend them. I highly recommend this bike. I highly recommend Luna Cycles. I think they've done an excellent job with the build of the bike, and including the wiring. I think the wiring is very professionally done. It looks very neat and clean. Most people, I mean, with the exception of seeing the engine in the battery or the motor in the battery there, most people can't even really tell that it's an e-bike. So I don't know. Most other e-bikes I've seen around have just tons of wiring for some reason and tons of zip ties all over the place. But this just looks really, really clean. So again, thanks for watching. And let me know if you have any questions. I'll be happy to respond to you. All right. Thanks. Bye.